It was March of 2020, and I remember having conversations in class the weeks leading up to us going fully online. And I teach anatomy and physiology, so a medical science class. And we talked about the virus a little bit, and we didn't know enough yet.
The latest on the coronavirus emergency. Lots of major developments overnight. The Trump administration...
There was already talk about masking, and everybody may be locking down for a short bit. And then all of a sudden I was getting a message, everything's going online. We made the change.
There are now more than 80,000 cases worldwide, and the outbreak is also sparking fears on Wall Street, the Dow plunging more than 1,000 points on Monday.
When word came out about the coronavirus, I was down in Florida playing spring training for baseball, and we got a call a little after midway through our week saying that we weren't going to have a season. And I called my dad and told him, and he was in shock too that they had canceled everything already.
This is my 44th year in higher ed, and I've seen all kinds of things. Enrollment increases, enrollment decreases, funding challenges for states, the recession. Nothing compares to this.
I think there was a lot of anxiety and a lot of concern for our students and of course for family members and everything else as the virus starts to come through. But it was a pulled together, we're going to crush this attitude.
The message we got as faculty was that we would be online for a few weeks. And so I remember updating my classes and sending all these students emails saying it's going to be fine, we're going to get through this, I'll see you guys right after spring break.
I learned better face-to-face and hands-on than trying to figure it out on a computer. It definitely was a transition. Glen has made it pretty easy to see what your classes are, when they're due.
And really, I think everyone's concern was the safety and health of the students.
I would say the faculty put in immense number of hours, at least those first couple of weeks, because we were really reinventing our classes.
We wanted to give quality education and keep the students safe, but this was all new territory.
So when we went fully online, not all students were prepared for that. They didn't have the technology and they didn't have the funds.
A lot of my students, probably 40% of my students, and they had been to that point getting online through their high schools. Another student, she started her speech by saying, I am in the Sturgis McDonald's parking lot and I am doing my speech because this is the strongest Wi-Fi signal I can find.
Whatever we have to deal with going forward, we'll get through it together.
And in this year, it's like any other crisis you ever go through. There's much good comes from it. We're a much more flexible organization than we were a year ago.
Resiliency. We're ready to handle what's coming.
But out of this, the school has learned how versatile we really are and how quickly we can change.
We are more nimble, we're more willing to accept what we're dealt, and we're able to, I think now, provide more options for students than we ever were before, and it's going to continue to be that way.
We'll be more likely to interact with our students through Zoom or through our Canvas learning management system or other ways that can actually supplement and enhance and improve what we do in the classroom.
It was time to become inventive and safe.
Loaning out hotspots and laptops, putting Wi-Fi in our parking lot.
Virtual opportunities like proctoring exams.
The vision, the mission, nothing changes in that regard. We're all about the business of adding value to people's lives.
With everything that our students were faced with, I'm so proud of how they handled this pandemic.
But I would say that all the students for this last year, whether they were completers in 2020 or they're completing this year or they're first year students this year, they have had to adapt beyond anything they would have ever anticipated. Thankfully, they're young. They're not as set in their ways as, folks like myself, and they've adapted. Are they totally enamored with the change? No. Will they be happy to return to some of the old school? Yes.